Where did Earth come from? How was Earth formed in the first place? About 4.6 billion years ago, before Earth was even born, our solar system was a messy cloud. It was full of rocky bits, from tiny dust to mountain-sized chunks. These were leftovers from when the sun formed, like scraps after making the sun. Gravity started pulling them together. They kept bumping and sticking to each other, getting bigger and bigger. Finally, they formed the early Earth. But back then, Earth was a terrible place like hell. No life could survive there. Importantly though, Earth's neighbors were also forming. These were the other planets in our solar system. They helped make Earth's future development more stable. Sometime in the first 100 million years after Earth formed, a Mars-sized object called Theia suddenly crashed into Earth. The huge crash sent pieces of rock flying into space. Gravity pulled these pieces together and they shaped into a natural satellite orbiting Earth. That's our moon. That's how we got the Earth-Moon system we know today. Over a long time, Earth started to cool down. Water slowly became liquid on its surface. This made Earth turn into the colorful, friendly world we know. But how did the very first life on Earth actually begin? We don't really know. Maybe chemicals in the oceans or hot springs reacted in complex ways to create life, a process called abiogenesis. Or maybe life came from space, carried by meteorites that crashed on Earth. But these are just guesses for now. But we're pretty sure that about 1 billion years after Earth formed, the first tiny living things that could do photosynthesis, using sunlight to create energy, showed up. These were like the first seeds of life planted on Earth. They kept changing and evolving. Species came and went and new ones appeared. And eventually humans evolved. So in a way, every one of us is actually part of the Earth itself. But where did the stuff that makes up Earth even come from? The answer is from space. Everything on Earth, including your hands and everything that makes you yourself, came from stardust in space. Way out in the huge universe, stars are constantly exploding and dying. When they explode, they throw out amazing stuff, elements. These elements float around in space, drifting and mixing. Eventually, they clump together to form Earth where we live. The astronomer Carl Sagan once said, "The nitrogen in our DNA, the calcium in our teeth, the iron in our blood, the carbon in our apple pies were made in the interiors of collapsing stars. We are made of star stuff." So every single one of us is made of stars. When we look up at the night sky, at those stars hundreds of light years away, they might seem distant and unrelated to us. But actually, they're deeply connected to us. Without those stars dying and creating gas and dust clouds, which then clump together to form Earth. Without that whole process, life on Earth, all the plants and animals, including us humans, would never have existed.